Who doesn't love the TV channel Food Network? Well, absolutely no one loves good food and a good show to go with it more than me. Since the cable channel first aired internationally in 2009, it has seen a handful of cooking shows and chefs showcasing their culinary skills and doing what they know how to do best. You can even say it was that one TV show that birthed the dreams of anyone looking to become a renowned food icon. But just as with any business venture, there are sure to be hitches, loggerheads, and some ugly scandals. In this case, these scandals became some of the biggest news that Food Network has faced in years. And unfortunately, some were so controversial that it ended the careers of some of your favorite food hosts. Let's dig in. Number 10. Robert Irvine's fake resume. You know the popular mantra, fake it till you make it? Well, Chef Robert Irvine, the former host of Dinner Impossible, took it quite seriously and made his way up the food industry with that motto. While debuting the show in 2007, Irvine's resume was nothing short of impressive. It boasted of him cooking for 4 American presidents, owning a Scottish castle, as well as baking the wedding cake of Prince Charles and Princess Diana. And like you guessed, it was just too good to be true. Fast forward to a year later, and the Tampa Bay Times discovered some skeletons in Irvine's closet. They revealed that his feats and achievements were majorly cooked up lies, and in fact, he never had a castle, nor did he ever cook for an American president, nor did he bake Princess Diana's wedding cake. Well, apparently, he only helped to pick the fruit which was used on the cake, which of course isn't the same thing as baking it. This scandal cost Irvine his job as host of the show, but not for too long. A year later, after much public apology, he came back as host of Dinner Impossible. I guess he was just too good to let go. Number 9. Bobby Flays' not-so-perfect marriage. If you're an avid fan of the Food Network, you would agree that Bobby Flay has been on our screens for more than 20 years with many shows to his name, such as Beat Bobby Flay, Throwdown, Bobby's Dinner Battle, Iron Chef, Barbecue Addiction, Chopped, and The Worst Cooks in America. During these shows, he would often bring his celebrity wife, actress Stephanie March, as a guest star, and it was all going perfectly until the spring of 2015 when she found out that he had been cheating on her all along with not one, but several women, one of which used to be his assistant. Stephanie March went on to file for a divorce, and here's where it turned pretty ugly for Flay. 2 months later, while the divorce case and other legal issues were still ongoing in court, Flay was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, making him the first chef to make the list. However, on that same day, and while he was giving his acceptance speech, a plane flew closely overhead with a banner that boldly spelt cheater. Yeah, that's not exactly how we would have wanted the day to be celebrated. Number 8. Anne Burrell's hate towards employees. We all know Anne Burrell from Secrets of a Restaurant Chef, The Worst Cooks in America, and Chef Wanted, but mostly she's well known for her loud, frank, boisterous, and very suggestive and mostly inappropriate talks, which almost cost her her career. Back in 2009, when Anne Burrell was making waves on the Food Network, there was a rough patch for the restaurant where she was the head chef, Centro Vinoteca in New York. They hit some financial hurdles and had to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. But that wasn't the end of the story. Blogger Abe Diaz spilt the beans about a legal tiff involving Burrell, the restaurant, and its owners. Some ex-employees from Centro Vinoteca claimed they faced discrimination. The accusations were pretty serious, with Burrell allegedly using some pretty choice words like stupid dumb whore and saggy, and making inappropriate comments of a more personal nature. To add fuel to the fire, the employees who spoke up believed they got the boot in retaliation. Now, while the case didn't make it to trial, you can bet these allegations surely made a dent in Burrell's reputation and career. Number 7. Worst Cooks in America winner charged for murder. Imagine watching a whole cooking show competition and then seeing one of the contestants emerge as the winner, only to find out 6 months later that they have been charged with murder. Totally wild. But this was the case of Ariel Robinson, the South Carolina-based cook who was declared the winner of the 20th season of the show Worst Cooks in America in August 2020. But here's where things take a dark turn. Just 6 months down the line, Ariel and her husband Jerry were hit with some serious charges. They were accused of child abuse, leading to the tragic death of their 3-year-old foster child, Victoria Smith, who was under their care. Jerry claimed Ariel had been physically abusive, a claim backed up by the coroner's report stating Victoria died from blunt force injuries. In a shocking twist, Ariel insisted the cause was water intoxication. The fallout was swift. Food Network pulled the entire season of The Worst Cooks in America from Hulu, YouTube, and Discovery+. It's a stark reminder that sometimes reality is way more chilling than anything you'd see on TV. Number 6. Ina Garten's harsh dismissal to a Make-A-Wish kid. Ina Garten, who was the familiar face on the Food Network's Barefoot Contessa, was also literally seen as the fairy godmother of the Food Channel. Still, in 2011, those wings were crushed after she revealed a not-too-kind side of herself. The heart-wrenching story involved a young fan named Enzo Pereda, who was this brave 6-year-old boy fighting off lymphoblastic leukemia, who was practically glued to the TV, watching Ina whip up delicious dishes while he battled his illness. His lifelong dream was to prepare a meal with her, so his parents needed to make it happen. They reached out to the Make-A-Wish program in hopes of making this dream a reality. Unfortunately, their initial attempts were met with disappointment, as Garten's busy schedule, dominated by the promotion of her new book, made it impossible for her to meet Enzo at the time. Remaining hopeful, the Peredas didn't give up. A year later, they tried again, hoping for a miracle. But once more, they got the same sad news. The family shared their story on a now discontinued blog, and the media quickly picked up on this poignant tale of unfulfilled hopes. However, by then, too much time had ticked away. Enzo had a new dream in his sights: swimming with dolphins. Number 5. John Besh called out for sexual harassment. John Besh was the co-owner of the restaurant Besh Restaurant Group, but unfortunately, he wasn't the kind of person fit to be an employer. In a shocking turn of events, celebrity chef John Besh found himself at the center of a major controversy back in January 2018. It all unfolded when allegations of sexual harassment surfaced, with a staggering 25 of his employees accusing him of fostering a hostile work environment at his restaurants, which were part of the Besh Restaurant Group. Things got so heated that an episode of Iron Chef Showdown, shot in the spring of 2017, had to undergo major surgery. If you squint, you might spot a ghostly Besh in the background, but otherwise, he was completely scrubbed from the footage. Talk about a disappearing act. Another former employee, who had a romantic entanglement with Besh, stepped into the ring with a separate complaint. She claimed that things were far from rosy and that Besh had used some not-so-great tactics in their relationship. Besh copped to the affair, but insisted it was consensual, a statement that didn't quite cut it. In the wake of the scandal, it was announced that Besh would also be edited out of an episode of the popular Bravo series Top Chef. Number 4. Mario Batalis' Indecency and Tips Theft. Before Bobby Flay, Gordon Ramsay, and other famous chefs you know, Batali was one of the pioneers of Food Network. Remember Malto Mario in '96? That was him showcasing his Italian culinary prowess. But things took a turn in 2007 when he parted ways with Food Network, except for the occasional Iron Chef gig. Fast forward to 2017, they tried to bring back Malto Mario, but those episodes never made it to our screens, and on top of that, he lost his spot co-hosting The Chew over at ABC. Why? Well, it all blew up after a bombshell expose was dropped on him. 4 women came forward accusing Batali of inappropriate behavior, including touching and groping, spanning over 2 decades in his restaurants. Batali didn't dodge the issue though. He sent out a heartfelt apology through his email newsletter, owning up to his mistakes and expressing regret for letting down his crew, fans, and loved ones. Oh, and in an interesting twist, he tossed in a recipe for pizza dough cinnamon rolls, a fan favorite breakfast treat. And guess what? This wasn't even the first time Batali's restaurants got into hot water. Back in 2012, he and his partners settled a lawsuit for a hefty $5.25 million, all because of some shady tip skimming practices. Yikes. Number 3. Racist calling for the Pioneer Woman. Ree Drummond, or the Pioneer Woman as she's mostly known, has also faced some reputation-shattering moments in her career. In the 2nd season of The Pioneer Woman, Ree Drummond faced backlash for a segment involving Asian-inspired hot wings. During the episode, Drummond playfully surprised her family and friends with the dish, prompting some surprised reactions. She quickly clarified that it was a joke and replaced the wings with a more familiar choice, American buffalo wings. Now, this moment didn't sit well with everyone. The blog Thick Dumpling Skin took issue with the lack of Asian representation on the show and questioned why non-Asian chefs were handling Asian recipes in the first place. They also pointed out instances where cultural nuances were missed. Fast forward to 2017, and the episode was taken off the air. They echoed concerns from the Asian community, who felt the segment was insensitive and asked for more respect when it comes to showcasing diverse cuisines on TV. Number 2. Paula Deen's racial slurs. Okay, do you also see a pattern here? What is it with these chefs and being racially insensitive? Deen runs her own show, Paula's Home Cooking. In addition to her TV endeavors, Deen also ran several food-related businesses, including the popular Uncle Bubba's Seafood and Oyster House in Savannah. But in 2013, things took a major turn. A lawsuit filed by her former manager, Lisa Jackson, claiming Deen fostered a pretty toxic work environment with racially insensitive remarks. And when asked if she'd ever used the N-word, Deen didn't deny it, admitting it was in her past. She also caught heat for a rather questionable wedding idea involving dressing up black men as slaves for historical accuracy. Yeah, that raised a lot of eyebrows. Food Network wasn't about to sweep this under the rug. They came out strong, emphasizing their stand on diversity and inclusion. Deen knew she had to face the music. She pulled out of her Today Show appearance and went on YouTube to lay it all out, sincerely asking for forgiveness. The fallout was pretty big. Food Network decided not to renew her contract, ending her 11-year run with the channel. Number 1. The Calorie Commando's murder attempt gone wrong. Finally, this has to be the most shocking scandal in Food Network's history. In the mid-2000s, Food Network's Calorie Commando became a beloved specialty show, thanks to its charismatic host, Juan Cruzs. But here's where the story takes a dark turn. Off-screen, Cruzs had some pretty disturbing stuff going on. In May 2010, he got arrested in Santa Monica, California for trying to hire 2 homeless guys, David Carrington and David Walters, to do something unthinkable: take out his wife, Jennifer Campbell. Thankfully, one of the Davids had the guts to report it to the police. That set off a sting operation, complete with video evidence of Cruzs making his chilling request, and even chauffeuring the guys to his place to give them detailed instructions on how to get in. After some legal back and forth, Cruzs ended up pleading no contest to solicitation of murder. They dropped the attempted murder charge, but he still got hit with a 9-year prison sentence in late 2010.